develop players on and off the field so they can dominate in every area of life. I'm your host, Coach Laurie. This is episode 118. Today we're going to be talking about real baseball, real grind, and real faith. I repeat, real faith. Today's guest is a former minor league baseball player, a guy who has been through every level of baseball. He's from the Dominican Republic's very own Juan D. Trinidad. He has been seeing all type of he knows everything about baseball. He's a pitcher, he's a coach, he's a mentor. He has been around the ropes in high school, college pro, and he also been through the Dominican, so he understands the grind, what it takes to get to the next level. And for the guys and girls that have emailed me and texted me, what does it take to get there? We're gonna go over that today. But also with that, I want you guys to understand we're gonna break down the next level of baseball. We're gonna talk about talent, talk about mindset, character, discipline, and also we're going to talk about my very own new bestseller coming out, Are You Really D1? That's my baseball book coming out here very soon. And with that, thank you, Juan, for coming on. I appreciate it. Episode 118. Juan Trinidad, how you doing, Juan?
I'm good, man. How about you guys?
I'm doing good, man. Thank
Thank
you,
you
man.
for the invite.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. I mean, you've played in the minor leagues several years. I know it has changed since you've been out of the league. So, from my perspective, my question to you, from for all the guests, you've played several years in the minor league. What has changed that you think the game has changed so much as a pitcher? Now, you as a pitcher. So, what, from your perspective, what do you think has changed so much from then to today?
Well, I think that thank you for the invite to the show. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk baseball. I mean, I'm a huge baseball fan. I grew up in the Dominican Republic. You know, that's for all the viewers. You guys know the Dominican Republic is that's basically the main sport is baseball. I
That's
mean,
it.
they have developed a basketball league nationally over there and sort of a soccer league, but
Yes.
but the main sport is
Sport.
baseball in the
Baseball.
Dominican. So every kid from the moment that they are 2 years old, they on the field,
Dude.
they look at
Wow.
all these major league players, and it's just it's been baseball all my life.
Wow.
But as far as like the minor leagues, man, I mean, I think back then, the one thing that I seen is like, man, there's so many guys now that they can throw 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
back in the day, like if you threw 100, man, you were like one guy. You know what I mean? One guy on the team will throw 198. Now you got guys they top 98, 99 easily, like
Easy.
in the minors. So I think the coaches and trainers have been doing like a pretty decent job on developing early that kind of velocity. Because I remember when I was a kid, I mean, if you throw 90s when you're 17, that was insane. That was
Right.
unreal. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like kids,
Right.
I remember when I signed up with the Giants, I was throwing like 84, 85, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like pretty common at 16 and a half to
Wow.
throw about that, but like 90 miles, like that was pretty
That's
that
that's
was
strong.
pretty rare. You know what I mean? So I think one of the things now that and they have developed so many tools now for kids and
Right.
athletes
Right.
to trying to up their game and bring it to the next level, trying to move one step forward to their goal. So I see all these new techniques, new developed the coaches have, how they
Right.
mechanical wise, you know what I mean, trying to control like all these different things that we didn't have. Like,
Right.
I mean, I was when I signed up with the John, I was a catcher. So I started pitching.
Okay.
When I went to the tryouts, I was actually a catcher.
Really?
I went as a catcher,
Mm.
and the scout from here from the United States, he saw me and funny story, dude. Like I strike out 3 times on that tryout as a catcher. I was like, dude, I'm done for it. Taking my clicks off, the guy asked me, you don't mind throwing a bullpen? You make some good throws to the bag, and I was like, yeah, I'll throw a bullpen. And
Right.
that's how they signed me
Really?
up, man.
I didn't know
Yeah, there
that.
was there was actually like 162 players as far as I can remember, and I was the only kid that signed up that day. Actually,
Really?
I didn't sign up that day. It was like 6 days later. But yeah, it was hilarious, man. They picked like 15 kids that they wanted to see it again. I wasn't even on the list, and then
Right.
I was just like, I was leaving. I took my shoes off, and the American guy he asked me, "Hey, do you mind throwing a bullpen for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll throw a bullpen."
Right.
then as a catcher, you're making that throw to second base. So I feel like for a catcher, it's very easy to throw strikes just because you have to make a harder throw to the bag,
Correct.
at close distance, and you kind of like, you
Wow.
actually. But
I
that's
didn't.
how I ended up pitching. I never pitched in my life,
Wow.
and that's how it all happened, man. Funny story.
Really? Wow. So I guess for the listeners and the people that are listening, you can tell them that you never know who's looking at you and don't give up until it's over. Until it's
Yes,
really over. Because some
yes,
kids, you know how kids are, because you coach as well, and we talked about this off the air. And I got kids now, they say, well, I did bad. Whoa, 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 slow down. Don't take your cleats off yet. And that's just,
yes.
I've
That's
never
yeah. I
heard that.
mean, to me, like, to be honest with you, like that day, I was facing. There was a guy who played for the Oakland A's. He got
Okay.
released. He played in the summer league. I mean, this guy was throwing like 94, 96. I'm 16 and a half, and this guy's throwing bullets.
Really?
And I'm just like swinging, man, and that boy he just blowing it by me, man. And I'm like, I'm done for it, dude. Like I'm
Right,
done.
right,
Three
right.
strikeouts. I was like, I didn't even got picked. And then all of a sudden, as I'm leaving, they asked me, "You want to throw a bullpen?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
do that.
I throw a
Yes, let's
bullpen.
go."
Let's do it.
And I threw that bullpen, and the guy told me, "Hey, take the next day off and come back the following day." And I did that. I know
Oh
the
man.
bullpen, and they say, "Take another day off and come back the next day." And I did that 3 times, and at the third time, they signed me up. And
Wow.
it was crazy. I was the only kid that signed up out of the whole 162, and I didn't got picked at the beginning of it. So, yeah,
Wow.
that's a great story for like you said. You don't know who's watching.
You never know who's
You don't know
watching.
what they're thinking. You don't know what they're looking for. Like you don't
Correct.
know personality wise. Like it's
Correct.
not just about. There's so many things that plays a factor on baseball as far as like
Right.
discipline and the way you handle yourself. That kind of
Wow.
there are coaches that look for that stuff too, not just
Right.
velocity or
Right. Or hitting the bomb.
so
Or hitting the
yeah,
bomb out the park.
yeah.
It's just funny you said that. I was just talking to a couple players. They're like, "Well, I'm done." Like, you're not done. Uh-uh. But you can run. You can run. You run really fast. I need you to run this 60 real quick. You run
Yeah.
a 6'4", we can figure it out.
Oh yeah, 6'4", man. That's quick.
we
I was
gonna
I was in I was in a fast kid, man. My fastest time when I was in I used to play third base. It was like 7.
Okay.
That was my fastest time. If I make a 7, I was usually between 7 and 7.2, man.
Okay.
I wasn't fast at all, man.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
tell you that much.
That's all right. Hey, that's
And
okay.
that's why I ended up pitching. That's if you can hit and you got a decent arm, you can pitch then.
Well,
You
man,
know.
this is great. Hey, for the guys and girls that listen to this show today, we have this episode 118. We got Juan Trinidad that played in the minor leagues. We're talking about his testimony, how his life has changed. God has touched his life and put him in the right place at the right time. So you just never know who is watching, you guys and girls. Just don't give up until it's over, and it's not over until God says it's over. That's just my take. So Juan, I got another question for you. For the high schoolers, what do you think that, I mean, the game has got a lot harder for them to get to the next level. Far as when I say that, I'm talking about because now they're now taking older guys because they want to develop, they want to win now. A lot of times they don't want to develop, depending on the organization. We talked about this, depending on the organization, because there's some organizations like to but speaking of college, let's jump a little bit lower for the listeners. It's harder for them now. So what do you think, what can they do to get noticed, or what are some things you think they can get noticed or get moved up to be able to try to go to college for high schoolers? I mean, we're dropping down a little bit lower. High schoolers, you know what I'm saying? Because right
Yeah.
now, with so much stuff going on, the NILs, transfer portal, what are some things that you would think if you were playing now, the Juan Trinidad, what would you do if you were in high school?
Man, that's a tough question right there, man. Because right now, like the game have evolved so much, and there is so much politics involved. I
Yes.
mean, people don't realize how much politics there in sport, not just in
Yeah.
baseball,
Right.
but like in general.
Right.
But I mean, my take on high school baseball is, like kids. I feel like we're living in a different era now, in
Yes.
comparison with like when we grew up.
Right, right.
Time have changed so much, and sometimes I feel like it's a disadvantage for the young generation because
Yes.
the focus is not 100% in the sport. I know there's some kids that they truly love this sport, but like back in the day when we used to play, man, that's all we did. You know what I mean? Like video games, they were there, but they were not your focal thing. And I think
Correct.
the younger generation now, like
That's right.
they're so caught up on
Right.
this social media
Social media. Right.
and that lifestyle that um, there's barely few kids that are doing what it takes. Because I tell you this, playing sport is one of the hardest things you can possibly do. The amount of work that you have to put in just to, like I used to talk to the guys, like I tell my kids all the time, like you know how hard it is to gain a mile or two in a year. You have to work for a whole year. If you throw 85 to increase your velocity to 87, you have to work extremely hard for an entire year just to acquire that. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is one of those things that I don't think coaches are teaching this stuff. I don't think kids are going through the motion. They're going through the basics, and it requires. It takes more than that. It
Right.
takes more than just the extra work is what's gonna make the difference, if you know what I mean. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like,
Oh yeah.
you can go through the motions, you can go to the cage, you can take your hacks, but ideally you have to get stronger
Right. Right. Right.
physically. You have to
Right.
get stronger mentally because
Correct.
baseball is very demanding on the mental side of it. Like you know what I
Yes, it
mean. It,
is.
it plays such a big role on the game. When you fail and bringing that into the game and
Correct.
so for high school kids, I say you just gotta. I believe in if you want it, you can do it. Like the
Yeah.
question is, how bad do you want it?
That's it.
What are you willing to
That's it.
do to
Right.
to
To
get
get
that?
where you need
You
to
know what I
go.
mean?
That's right.
Because people will notice you. You know what I mean? Like when you start progressing, the problem is if you're moving at the same pace as everybody else, then people are not gonna notice you as much. But like if
Right.
you like I remember when I was younger, by the age that I was 12, I was practicing 2 times a day, and I was running every afternoon
Mm-hmm.
from the age of 12, like
12.
with my friends, going to the beach and running in the sand and swimming, just so your shoulder can get stronger, so your legs can get stronger, so then I can throw harder, so I can hit the
Mm-hmm.
ball harder.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's not just taking swings, but
Come
like
on.
the gym part of it, the
That's
it's
right.
just a different mentality nowadays. And I
You're
know
right.
some kids they say they want it, but it's like, do you really want it?
Really want it? Right.
Like,
Right.
because you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Right. Right.
there are some kids that they want to play. I know that. Like, you want to be in the game, you want to play, but are you gonna do what it
What it
takes?
takes.
Are you
That's
gonna
right.
do what it takes? Like, are you
You're
gonna
right.
go above and beyond to so you can reach your dreams? And here's the thing about sports. Like, you can do all that, and it might not even happen. So you have to
Correct.
be willing
Correct.
to live with that and accept it. Like, I'm gonna do this the best that I can, and if it
Right.
happens, happen. If it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, and it's tough
You're
because
right.
that's the reality. We're here talking baseball, but we cannot give false dreams and hopes.
Right.
Like, this is the reality. This is
Right.
what
Right.
we
Right.
go through. If you play ball, I play ball. We know how this game work, and it's
Right.
just kids needs to understand that it's
Stand that.
gonna take more than that. Like more than whatever you're doing, increase it a little bit so you can get better
Right.
results.
But you know what, Juan, it's so powerful what you just said. I'm thinking about a Bible verse and all thy getting, get an understanding. When I said that to say this, sometimes God lets us go through things.
Yes.
And we may have a plan, and it's all of us. We have a plan, but listen, but that may not be the divine plan. But
Yes.
but that's part of the plan to get you where you need to go. Because
Yes.
let me give you an example, one, and you can elaborate. I wanted to be a pro baseball player so bad, I would die for it. Just die. I would just die. But I had got hurt. I got in a car accident that changed everything. I tore my rotator cuff up, my throwing arm. So my arm was flat.
Yes.
So I already knew but I was fighting an uphill battle mentally. But let me tell you what happened. One, it was really how God blessed me. It helped me develop other habits from baseball to life. So
Yes.
now I know how to handle life when it hits me in the face, or when it get in the corner and I'm getting stuck, I'm getting sucker punched, and I made an error in life, and I made a turnover in life, or I struck out in life. I know how to get back in the
Yeah.
game and say,
Yeah.
you know what, that's okay because I've already had developed those mental muscles from baseball to real
Yes.
life. So
Yes.
that's what I wanted to say because that's I mean you're exactly right. Sometimes a lot of people are not going to make it, but you just never know what God has in store for you behind that door. You know what
That
I'm
is
saying?
true, man.
Because I never thought one I'll be coaching. I don't
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
freaking coach. I want to play.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
realized it. I realized that I had all these skills. They just wasn't for the level that God wanted me at. Because it
Yeah.
probably would have destroyed me. Because sometimes you got to
Yes.
think, if you're already got boys are egos, we got egos. Come on, let's be real. We all got egos.
Yes.
So think if that would have happened, it probably would have destroyed me. It probably would have
Yeah.
destroyed me.
Yeah.
But we
And I
don't
think
know that.
about
Go
I
ahead.
think about that very often because I know so many guys, like for example in the Dominican,
Okay.
there's quite a few players that they got in a car accident and that have killed themselves after
Ooh.
they make it to the big leagues. Like remember, what's his name
Um.
from the
Um.
Kansas City, Ventura.
Yes.
Remember Ventura? Like
Yes.
that kid was going on a road that and he ended up killing himself over there. Driving drunk and stuff like that. And
Correct.
sometimes I
Correct.
think about that, like I'm wondering, like if that would have happened for me, how would my life have been then?
Ben.
You know what I mean? In comparison to now. So to your point, what you were saying about what sport does for you is it helps you develop this skill like you were talking about, how to work with people. Because when you think about it, when you're in the minor leagues, not everybody likes each other. You know what I mean? You have a 25-man roster, but there are guys that don't like each other. But you have to work with them because you're on a team.
That's right.
So I don't like you as much,
Right.
but we have to work for the team. So you develop that skill of dealing with people that you don't
People.
necessarily agree with or
That's
or,
right.
or get along with,
That's right.
just for a bigger purpose, which is
Man, this is
winning a
good.
ball game or being
This
part
is
of
good.
something bigger than yourself. You know what I mean?
This is good.
So I think that for kids, I mean, I highly recommend for all the kids to stay in sports as long as they can,
They
just
can.
because
That's right.
you say, like you just develop this mental toughness that
Correct.
what life throws at you, like you'll be able to
That's
deal
right.
with it
You're right.
because you already been doing it from such a young age.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So you
Correct.
adapt to the situation. Hey, this didn't work out, but
That's right.
I'm gonna push through it. So
That's
I
it.
think that
Man.
besides the glory of the sport, I think that there is something bigger than
Bigger
that
than that. That's right. Right.
personally, and it's just something that I really enjoy, and that's what I try to teach my kids. Like, dude, like you gotta. This is the route, man. I
That's
know
right.
what it is. Like, I know this is the route. But
That's right. I love
but
it, man. I gotta
sometimes.
have. I'm loving this, man. I gotta get you on more. I love. We having a good. Hey, this is episode 118. Juan Trinidad and Coach Larry. We're chopping it up today. This is great because you know what? I've never really talked about. I talk about God. I talk about spiritual things. I talk about baseball. I talk about my book, but I really don't talk about life. Because at the end of the day, like you just said, you brought it up. That's even part of my question. You just brought it up. A lot of people aren't going to make it. They just
Yeah.
aren't going to make it. One, it's just that's
Yes.
life. Get over it. Just gonna
Yeah.
have to get over it. But
Yeah.
with that, a lot of kids today is my next question. A lot of kids and players today look the part. They look the part. This is the question. They look the part. They got the gear, they got the videos, they got the follows, but they don't have an offer yet. So with that, baseball tools and or intangibles, there's something missing. And my question to you is this: a lot of guys think they look the part, they look good, they got the bat, they got the
Hey, I know what you
gloves.
mean. I know exactly what you
so
mean.
so
I have
what?
some 11-year-olds like that, dude. They have everything. They have all the gears.
So tell me, what can you tell them, to get that offer or get an opportunity because they think, oh, I got the gear. Because you gotta look the part. You do gotta look the part. It
Yes.
does happen. But what can you say from your experience in playing pro ball for these guys trying to go college in pro ball?
I mean, I think when you talk about the gear though, I mean, I honestly I don't mind it as much as long as you can back it
Back
up.
it up. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was never against a kid being a little cocky
Okay.
because to me, if you can back that up, that means you're confident. You know what I mean? And confidence in baseball is everything.
Everything.
Like if you have no confidence, now you can be confident and be humble. I'm not saying
Right.
being
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like, because
Right.
I feel like there was a point in my career that I got a little cocky. I played in the Winter League in Venezuela, and when I was there, you know, the fans used to talk a lot, and that kind of just kind of fills you up,
Right.
especially when
Right.
you're pitching. You get your blood going, and you just get pumped up. You know what I mean? And sometimes you do stupid stuff
Stuff.
as a
Right.
young man. You know what I mean? And you're
That's
19
right.
years old, 20 years old. Obviously, a little different now, but um, I think that the gear part of it, you know, is I mean, like I say, I'm all for it if you can,
Back it up.
you know what I mean? Like, because it's just like too many kids have just too many stuff. Like
Right.
you don't
That's my
need
point. Yeah.
you don't
That's my
need three
point.
baseball bats. Like for me personally, like I just bought my son a $500 bat.
Well,
That's his birthday present. I have never done this. I always just go a marketplace and get him
right.
a $200, the
Right.
last year bat, the
Right.
hottest bat
Right.
last year. You know what I mean? Because I told him like, dude, you don't really need a $500 bat
That's
to.
true.
You got to hit the ball. Like no matter what you're using,
You
you got
still
to
got to hit
square
the
up
ball.
to it. Like you know, what I
That's
mean, the
right.
bat's not gonna do it for you. So, you know, it's completely necessary. I feel like it's a waste of money. And I think that they're missing the point.
Point.
You're missing the point. That it's like this is not gonna get you anywhere. Yeah, it'll like when you look clean, you look good. Like yeah, you caught the attention of other coaches.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
If you're facing another high school and you look good and you present
Right.
yourself as a
Correct.
baseball player, like I'm completely all for it. Like present, look like a baseball player. You look good, you play good. That's how they say it around here. Now I don't know if that's necessarily true, but like
Right.
I want my players to look good. I want
I do
my
too.
players to look
I do
like
too.
an athlete. I want to
Correct.
look like a baseball player. Now, but the excessive gear is just completely necessary. That's my take on it because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I don't think yeah a decent bat can get a home run. You know, you can
Yes.
hit the ball a little bit farther, but
That's true.
you still have to hit it and you
That's
have to hit it right.
that's
You know what I
right.
mean? So
That's right. I
it's
like it.
just
I like that. Hey, that's transparency right there. I mean, that's good because I have a new book coming out. Are you really D1? And, well, for the listeners, here's a copy of it. It's
oh
coming out.
nice.
It's coming out. I just want to say that. But in my book, I call those the difference making tools. You know, the difference makers. You know, how can
Yeah.
players focus on the skills and actually get the job done and get recruited? You know,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I'm like you. I like to look good. I'm not gonna lie. I like nice things, but with that, you better back it up because if you don't back it up, you're gonna be a clown.
Yes, yes, yes,
you're gonna be
yes.
a
What's the
clown. That's
point?
that's the point. Because I'm telling you, because we're boys. Come on, boys gonna be boys, regardless.
Yes.
Whatever sport, basketball, football, baseball, we gonna ride you, regardless.
Yes.
We're gonna ride you because that's just part of the aura of being an athlete. You know,
Yes.
if you gonna
Yes.
wear the
Yes.
gear,
Hey, that's honesty right there. That's complete. We can go all around, but we know what's up. You know what I mean? Like we know
exactly.
what's up.
We know what's going on at the end of the day. Like, listen, you better hit the ball. But thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know, we also want to talk about the grind. You know, Juan, the grind, because you're coming from Dominican. Let's just be real. It's totally different in the United States. Totally
Yes.
different.
Yes.
And I've watched
Absolutely.
a documentary of about the Dominicans as far as the baseball. I watched it on YouTube. It was extremely well, very, very good. I loved it, and I was like, man. But this is not even a question. But I want to throw this at you. A lot of those guys, they're dreaming for that dream, the MLB. I'm not against it, but the question is this: there's so many good talent guys. All of them not going to make it. There's only so many jobs. That's the bottom
Yeah.
line. There's
Yes.
only so many jobs. But my question to you, it's not even on my screen, but I'm just saying to you, this is another question. I just started thinking about it because I'm like,
Hey, just say, man. I'm good. I'm
how
ready for it.
how the question is this: after they get cut, 16 years old, 17, they don't make it. What do they do next? Because at the end of the day, they don't have an education.
They
They
don't.
don't have an education. That's another problem. And I'm like, they got this one guy that's trying to help. He's he works for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's got some organization in the Dominican, and I just did a research on it. I'm trying to reach out to this guy too, but he hadn't responded. And I'm like, okay, what do you do with the rest of those guys that possibly can go to college or at least a junior college one, at least a junior college? I'm just okay. You can get a GED. You can get a GED and you can go to JUCO, and still some of those guys can still continue their baseball career. So what's your intake on that, as far as that from your motherland country?
I mean, there's one thing in the DR that, and again, like things have changed from the
Okay.
time that I was a kid and I was playing ball. But the business side of baseball have taken over the entire country of the
Oh,
Dominican Republic, and it's sad to see the advantage that these organizations have taken on the players because right now even like I have a cousin of mine. he he was supposed to sign with the Rangers for like 1.5, and they have a lawsuit against him now because he didn't sign out. They were giving him 800,000, and they didn't want to take it because they already kind of like had an agreement that it was going to be a 1.5. He's over there. You're doing tryouts since you're 12 years old. So the
wow,
moment you turn 12, yes, at
12.
12 years old, they taking you to all these tryouts, man. It's crazy. I'm telling you how much this have changed. This guy have taken over the sport as far as like they pick you up, they get a little bit of money to your family, they take your kid with them. Obviously, they feed him, they have a gym, they have a field, they have trainers, they have all this stuff. I mean, it's not like top of the line training, right? But
Right,
like
right. But it's
it's not
training.
like a decent living, but like you have somewhere to sleep, right? I mean, if you have saw some of those documentary, you know how it looks like over there.
Yes.
But in the Dominican, like once you go through that route, the person that picks you up, they're gonna take 50% of whatever you get.
50.
It's 50%. That's the
Oh,
deal. So that's one of the things that kind of pissed me. I mean, I get it. You investing 4 years on this kid, you're feeding them, you buy them proteins, you do all this kind of stuff, but like 50%,
that's a lot.
that's a
That's a
lot of
lot.
money.
That's a
That's a
lot.
lot of
50.
money. You know what I mean? So now, if they don't sign, you lose your investment that I
Okay.
guess. But I
Right.
still like feel like it's because they only pick obviously the best of the best kids. They're gonna pick somebody that they know they can get their money. You know what I mean? So that's the business side of it because kids are being exploited at a very young age that I think they shouldn't. You know what I mean? But that's the game over there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
As far as like when you 16 and some guys they only play 1 year and then they get released and then there's really that's why baseball in the Dominican is so much different than the United States because over there like you basically fighting for your life.
Mm.
You training to get out of poverty. You're training to
Make a better life for yourself.
from your family. Like you're trying to build your mama home. You know what I mean? Like it's a completely different motive compared to because here in the United States the kids have options. You know what I mean? Like my kids, like they don't even they like baseball, but they're not like in love with it.
Right.
Then they're
Right.
gonna go be somebody else or do something
Correct.
else.
Correct. Correct.
You don't have that choice over there. It's either baseball or
Or
you
nothing.
or you or nothing. So you know what I mean? So like when you have that mindset, I feel like that's why I mean look at how many players they have in the big leagues from the Dominican Republic. You know what I mean? And that plays a role on the fact that, kids are over there, they're like if you put a 12-year-old here with a 12-year-old over there, they're gonna be completely different. I mean, there's a completely different mindset, man. I'm fighting for my life over here
That's right.
and
That's
you
right.
just playing for fun. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's
I
like a
get it.
different,
I
you know
got
what I
it.
mean? So
Yeah.
so it, I feel like it's tough, man. The
Oh
DR
man.
stuff. I don't know if I answer your question. I think I got away from the question that you asked. I
But that's
asked me.
okay. You did a good job, which leads me to the next question: the mental game. I'm going. I mean, you're going in the right path. I mean, because at the end of the day, we need to understand what life is like in the DR versus here, because kids don't know. They just don't
Yes.
know. They have no idea, earthly idea. But leads me to the mental part of it. You've been through. minor league, going through the long bus rides,
Yes.
going in a slump pitching, pressure, pure pressure. Are you going to lose your job, or are they going to demote you? Things of that nature. So my question to you is, how important is the mental side of baseball in general today versus when it is there, especially for these young players, which they haven't felt, because they haven't had much failure yet. Like you just talked about,
Yes.
they haven't
Yes.
had failure. So you've been through that. So how important is the mental game? Because I want you to break that down. Let them know.
I mean, I think from my personal experience, I will tell a young athlete, like, you need to know who you are as a player. You need to know who you are as a on a team. Like, what's my role on this team? Like, don't the worst thing you can do is fool yourself. Don't ever do that. Don't ever. I know guys that used to think like that they are the one, and I'm like, you're not. Like, you can
Yeah.
think that all you want, but
What?
the
Right.
organization doesn't see you that
Yeah,
way.
that's right.
So I'll say, like, like, I feel like I was always, I was never a prospect.
I
I
got
never
you.
was a prospect. You know what I mean? I signed up. I didn't got a lot of money when I signed up. I made it to the United States. I had a great last year in the Dominican, and that's how I came to the States. It takes a lot to come to the States. You know what I mean? Because people need to realize when you sign in the DR, if you don't sign for more than like $500,000, you're gonna have to play summer league. And the summer
Okay.
league, you get 3 years at the most,
Okay.
but they can also release you in 1 year.
Mm,
So you got 3 years to show that you can come here, and that's not just playing the game. It's also because you guys have different culture. The United States and Dominican Republic is a completely different culture, so they want to make sure that you're ready mentally to come here and deal with. Even though,
right.
like, for us, this is, I mean, United States is way better than any third world country, right? And
Right.
any country, perhaps. So when I was with the Giants, I knew who I was. Like,
Okay.
I know I wasn't the guy that they got all the money. I wasn't on the top radar for, what I mean. So I knew I have to do my part, and I always told myself, if I just do my job and I do it well, I will stick around.
Right.
Like, that's all I gotta do. I mean, that was my game, and I try to do that every year. And back to what we were talking about early, it might not happen for you. Like my last year when I got released, I had a great year. My
Mm,
ERA was under two,
mm.
and I threw like I believe it was 49 innings as a reliever, as a setup guy, and I got ERA under two, and I still got cut. You know what I mean? So I did everything that I could,
Right.
and ended up not happening. But I also was aware of it, if that makes sense. Like, you
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Like when I look at when I went to spring training in 2009,
Okay.
I look at the guys around me. We came up in the single A, and then the middle A, and then high A. You know, they all got drafted the same year that I came to the States. So
Okay.
I look at all the pictures, and I'm like, okay, so got $400,000. This guy have this
Correct.
amount. They signed him
Correct.
up he was a fourth round pick. Like, and I'm just this kid from the Dominican. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew that there's something had to give at that
Correct.
point, because we were like 15 pitchers,
Correct.
something like that, going to double A. And it was just like, I feel like I knew they were going to cut some people. I just didn't know
No win.
who was going to be. But, I wasn't surprised, to be honest with you, just because, like I told you, like baseball have so many levels of politics. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's hard, man. It's definitely hard. And I don't want to get too deep into
I
it,
get
just
you. I get you.
because I feel like I don't want to cross any lines. You know what I mean? But it's very political, because
Okay.
I feel like I could have done better
Which,
than I couldn't throw probably 70 innings that year, and I didn't,
well,
for reasons that I will probably shouldn't say, just because
and it's okay, Juan. I'm gonna cut you just so I can help you. It's okay because at the end of the day, it goes back to my story. It all happened for a reason. We don't know what the reason is. Maybe that was the
yeah,
best reason, and we just have to accept it. That's part of building that mental muscle again.
yeah,
Because I knew a guy. that I interviewed years ago, Juan, years ago. And he told me this. He played for the Tennessee Titans. This was when I used to interview. I just do baseball now, but he played for the Tennessee Titans. Got drafted. Got drafted. I think it was a low round, fifth round, sixth round, something like that. He didn't get a lot of money. Going back to your story, and I interviewed him, and back then Jeff Fisher was the coach, and they picked up another guy the following year. The next year he got drafted, right? So the guy that I'm talking about, he was a better player, but he got drafted lower the year before. Remember now.
Yeah.
It goes back to politics, like you talk.
Yes.
I'm backing you up. I'm letting people know. And he was better, and the coach had a meeting with him and said, "You are a better player, but we invest more money in him." So he has to play. Period.
yes. Yes.
So for the listeners that are here and listening, I want to make sure we get some clarity. It's a bit back to what you said earlier. It's the business, and then not just baseball. That's life.
Yes.
You just have to understand. Life sometimes throw you a sucker punch. Life sometimes kicks you where it hurts. Life sometimes life can give you a lot of good things too. A lot of good
Yes.
things, but you just got to take it and run with it. I just want to make people understand that. I'm not throwing any bad thing about the MLB. It's just business. It's a business.
It is
Bottom
business.
line.
At the
It's
end of the
business.
day,
It's a
at the end of
business.
the day, that's what it is.
That's
You know what I
why
mean?
the Dodgers won.
Yes.
Back to everybody saying this. Now today is November, November the 3rd, 2025. That's why the Dodgers won, because they know how to run a bit. No, and for all the other fans, Milwaukee Brewer fans, I'm a Giants fan. The Blue Jays. I'm not throwing haterade on you guys. We're not throwing. I'm not throwing haterade, so people don't get mad at me. I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, sometimes the best team doesn't always win, and also sometimes the best player don't play. That's just
Yeah.
when it comes to
That's
professional.
just the game, man.
That's the
It's
game. It
just
is. So
that's just the way things are, and there's not much you can do about it.
do about it. Right. You just got to roll with it, and hey, and
Yes.
you got, like you said. You said one powerful thing that I want to tell everybody. You got to know your role. Know your role and know your personnel. So if me and Juan are playing the same position, and I got drafted second round, and Juan came from the DR, and they invested, I'm just, $5 million in me, and they didn't invest but maybe 32,000 in him. You got to think.
Yes.
That's just,
Yes.
unless something catastrophically happens to me or whoever or through the channel. It's just business. So I just want to throw that out there. So I got your back, Juan. Don't worry about it.
And you know what, man? That's the I feel like that's one of the mental challenge of for a player. Like when you can be out there and you're not because of that. I mean, that's just it is what it is.
Right.
Like, that's just the reality. But it just sucks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
It's
does.
just, but again, you got to kind of man up and live with it, because
That's right.
you know
That's right.
that's the way life is.
That's
the
right.
way
That's
it
right.
works, and you just got to make
And
the
roll
most.
with it.
You know
Let's
what I
make the
mean?
most of the situation. At least you had an opportunity and keep moving. And like I
Yes.
said, God has a reason for everything. For people to listen, God has a reason. You may think you got the reason, but you ain't the reason. God's got the reason. I got to throw that out there. But, we're talking about, stuff that I think most kids need to listen to. But the one thing I want to talk about is the grind. The grind. What is the grind? Because a lot of kids misunderstand it. You talked about that earlier when we first started. They misunderstand what the grind means and what it really means, because some people think grind is just doing it daily for high schoolers. They don't understand it's deeper than that. So my
Yes.
question to you, can you break down what is the grind to get to the next level at any level of baseball? Because like you said before, there's another word that you never said, but you was tapping around it. Why? I'm gonna say it. It's called the separator. What separates you from the next guy? What makes that scout say that's the man I want? Because
Yes.
he has the it factor. The it factor. Juan's got it. He may not throw, but he may not throw 99, but he knows how to outthink the batter. He knows how to place the
Yes.
ball in position, so when they hit the ball, it's in play. He doesn't give them it right down here. He puts it in. He works in the corner, out the corner. That's what I'm trying to say. So my question is, what is the definition of the grind for to help these listeners?
I,
The grind.
I would say that, and this is something that I kind of preach to players, like you have to develop this work ethic that everything you do, it needs to have some kind of intention behind it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we talked about it early. Like a lot of players, they just go to practice and they just go through the
Go through
motions,
the
and they
motions.
don't. They're not working on things as specifically. Like you got to identify your weakness. You got to know what's like if I'm a middle infielder, like
Right.
what's my weakness?
Correct.
I'm not very good with my backhand, so I'm
Correct.
gonna put some intention behind when I'm working that area of my game because I need to get stronger on that aspect, right?
Right.
So I feel like grinding for me should be, like putting intention behind everything you do. Like
Correct.
if I'm gonna run to the outfield, put some intention behind it. Like I'm gonna do it. Like I'm not just gonna,
Go through the
just
motions.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
slumpy, you know what I mean? So because at the end of the day, if you wanna separate yourself from everybody else, you gotta do everything harder than everybody else.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I mean? Like especially when you are, and that goes in the field and off the field. Like this is not just something that it's not like it's habit, right? Like you got to create good habits. You got to create that. You have to create that competitiveness. Like I wanna be able to compete. Like at the end of the day, I always tell my kids like, look, you need to have pride on what you do. You know what I mean? Because if you're a pitcher and you're facing a batter, like what do you think he wants? What do you like? The guy speaking. Like he's trying to destroy you. He's trying to get you, and
Correct.
you cannot let that happen. And if it happens, like you need to have some type of emotion about that. Like, how can I avoid this from happening? And that's what's gonna drive you to improve your skill set. But if
Hmm.
you have no pride in what you do, then like to me, when I was a pitcher, I only wanted batters to respect me, man. That's all I wanted it. I didn't want people to think that, oh, so Juan is coming in. Ooh, we got this guy. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be a piece of cake. You will not think about that. Like on my end, like I'm not gonna be thinking like that. Like if you hit a home run against me, hey, I'll take my hat. You wanna do whatever you want, do it. But at the end of the day, you're gonna respect me because I'm gonna get you.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
I like it. I like it.
So I think respect is everything, especially for men. So we know that's all we want. That's what
Number
men
one.
want.
That's
Men just
number one.
want you to respect them.
Respect me.
That's all we want. In the sport, in the field, out of the field, like that's all we want.
All we want.
But respect also have to be earned. You
Yes.
know what I mean? And how do you earn that?
Right.
Do
Right.
your part, do your job, get the job done, and people will respect you.
I
You know what I
like it.
mean? So how do you get the job done? Well, that's when the grind comes to play, right? I'm gonna be the best that I can be right now, and have a goal for the next six
That's right.
months.
That's right.
Like I want
That's
to
right.
be here next in the next
That's
six
right.
months. I have to be here, and I'm gonna do. What does it take? Ask somebody. Ask your
Right.
coach. Hey, coach,
That's it.
what can I do to get to this point in my
For
career?
real. Right.
You know what I mean? What do you think I can do to
Dude.
improve myself? And that's something that a lot of players don't do.
Don't
They
do.
just
They
go to the
don't do that.
field, they go through the motion, they did
Emotions.
their workout, and I'm going home and they repeat the next day. And that's just not gonna be enough. You know what I
Man.
mean? It's just not gonna be enough.
Wow, wow! This is episode 118. Very own Juan Trinidad. Juan is dropping some serious nuggets of truth, boy. I love it. So Juan, you are just you're all in my kitchen. You're cooking, boy. You're cooking. I love it. You cooking. You cooking, boy.
Trying
Which
to help
leads
these
me.
kids, man,
This is really
understand.
good. This is really good, man. Because one of my favorite lines in my book is consistency beats talent when talent is inconsistent. And I said that because for the people again, I'm gonna show a picture of it, and I'm gonna go straight to the chapter. That's the first chapter one, the first chapter, and it says here, what's the count? Character. That's the first chapter. That's the first chapter.
That's awesome, man.
I just had to say it because as you're talking and I'm listening to you and the listeners, the people are listening to this show and they're on Twitter, they're on LinkedIn, they're on YouTube, and listening to this, they thinking this is an awesome interview. But the key is, I'm not even telling you what's in my book. You're just dropping it, and I'm like, okay, that's the first chapter, because at the end of the day, the grind has a lot to do with consistency, doing the right thing consistently. Because
Yes.
if you're gonna get to the next level of anything, and win that job on anything, you gotta outperform the next person, but you gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
You can't be booting balls, you can't be having errors, you can't have mental errors. You gotta make sure you can. That's why it's called a Major League Baseball. Major League. That means
Yeah.
those are the guys that are superb with making very few mistakes.
Yes.
That's the bottom line, and that's why we have different levels: minor league, independent league, you know, college, NAIA, JUCO, because
Yeah.
there's a different levels of
Yes.
consistency. And I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm like, Juan ain't even seen my book. He didn't even know I had a book. I'm just dropping it. He's just Juan is doing it. Juan, you selling my book already, Juan. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate that. You're doing a
That's
good
cool,
job.
man. Yeah,
So
no, hey, you said it, man. Consistency is the name of the game. If you can be consistent at anything, you definitely will will climb up that ladder, man. It's just that's one of the things that kids are lacking these days. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like when you tell your pitchers, like, I want to be able to count on you, right? Like, I don't, you have those type of pitchers. I'm sure you do have some of those where when you put them in, you don't know what you're getting.
right.
You know what I mean? He might have a great outing, or he might have a horrible outing. He might throw strike, he might not. Even in the big league, there are guys that they're like that. I remember Jonathan Sanchez from Puerto Rico when he was with the Giants. I mean, I love the guy, but sometimes he'll throw a perfect game, and then the next outing, he can make it out of the third inning, and it's just like,
You don't
man,
know
we need
what
to
you're
get
getting.
some kind of like, can you give me
Consistency.
7 innings every time,
Right,
or,
right,
or
right.
close to
Close
it,
to it.
or,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like, you know,
yeah, yeah. Be
it's
consistent.
just, it's just,
Yeah,
and you see that through any youth,
right.
program. You see that through the kids are just not. You got you guy that you can count on.
Correct.
They, you know what I mean. But there's some that they just have to develop a little bit more, and that's
Motor.
that's that's what we preach to the youth. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
got to be consistent at this. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
play, because
That's right.
we can't be gambling out there when you're trying to compete. You know what I mean?
That's
I'm
right.
never gonna go gamble with you if you know what I mean? I can't. Unless we're winning by 20, like, yes, I can afford that, but that's the reality, right?
That's
Like, that's
true.
the reality.
Hey,
So,
you were 100% correct, because I just had a travel team this Saturday, and I was like, I don't like one inning, I don't like one run games, I don't like one run games, I don't like it,
yes,
I don't like them,
too
I don't.
stressful.
It's too stressful. I was like, listen, we need more runs. We gotta put
Yes,
some runs on the board. They're looking at me like, Coach, we're winning. I said, yeah, we're winning, but it's 1 point. What are you talking
yes,
about?
yes,
I'm more nervous than they are. I'm like, dude,
yes,
I need you guys swing the bat. I want good quality at bats, but they don't. That's another day. They don't understand what quality at bat means. That means quality
yes,
pitches, quality at bat. What do you
yes,
mean by quality? I just hit the ball. I got a base hit. That was a blooper. That was
yes,
come.
yes.
I'm like, you barely got a hit. So anyway, I'm not gonna go off. I'm trying to get back on it. Maybe get back on the one. But thank you, man. I got a few more questions. I know we're getting close to time, and we've seen talent guys, you know, you've seen guys lose opportunities because of poor attitude or poor bad decisions. You have. My question to you is, the big question is how big is character when it comes to getting to that next level?
Well, I mean,
Character.
I think that's everything, man. I mean, as coaches, like you coach, I coach, we do not like that type of athlete.
Oh
You know what
no.
I mean? And nobody does, to be fair. Like, there is no coach that's gonna put up with that. I mean, and there are some kids that they just think that
The
that
best in the
they're
world.
everything. You know what I mean? And it's kind of sad because, to me, I feel like when things like that are happening, I feel like that comes a lot of time. I feel like that comes from the home, from the family dynamic. I think
Correct.
it could be one of those things because even though they probably do it unintentionally,
Correct. Correct.
but something is happening that
Right.
is pushing that behavior, right? Like
Correct.
like it
Correct.
cannot be. Maybe when you were younger, like, you and you on a travel ball team, your parents talk about, oh, you better than so and so. Why they don't
Correct.
play you? Like, and
Correct.
they not realizing what you're doing to the athlete. Like you're just creating this person that, at the end of the day, they're gonna have a tough time out there because of their the way they. And now some kids they can get away with it. You know what I mean? Because obviously there are kids that they're super athletes. You know what I mean? And they know that they're good. So a lot of times, it's just as a coach, you find a way to kind of deal with it,
Right.
right?
Correct.
Because you know the
Right.
kid, you need him on the team, or
Right.
is definitely a good athlete. But I mean, to me, man, nothing beats a humble athlete that is good but it remains humble. I think that's just beautiful to me, man. That's
Yeah.
just like it's just the kind of player that you want to have around
I got you.
because he'll bring that positivity to the team, even when
Team.
you're struggling. Like he'll bring that into the locker room. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he picks other players up, and the thing with players that have the attitude is that they always finger point. You know what I mean? And that's the last thing you need on a team. You know what I mean? That's the last person you want to be like. Because at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. They all gonna make an error,
That's right.
and it's only a matter of when.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I mean?
not. It's
Because
gonna happen.
it's gonna happen. Like they're all gonna fail at one point on their career. They're all gonna have a big mistake that is gonna cost the game. And do you want somebody to come back at you with the same approach? Like, man, we
Correct.
lost because it's. I just feel like
It's bad.
it's just bad. It's just bad for a team. It's just bad for the person. But they don't see it that way. But when they grow, they hopefully they realize it and
Right.
they kind of make the change early in their career because it can definitely. I know players like that in the minor leagues. The coaches they hate him, and ended up causing them being released. It cost them their career because they just couldn't get
Bad
along.
character.
Guys that can really confront the manager in the dugout, like I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Doing.
Like,
No. No.
like, why?
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So,
Right.
so it's definitely it can impact them very negatively. So, you know,
Mm.
my advice it will be like, just why?
I
I don't
like
know
that.
why. Because
That's
like I say, like that comes from a deeper.
right.
You know what I mean? It goes a
That's a
little
deeper
deeper than
soul.
that. It's
That's a
not just
deeper
something
soul
that
thing. Yeah.
you do. That doesn't just happen.
Happen. Right.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
Like
Right. Right.
it's
Yeah. That's
it's been
deep.
happening for a
That's
long time. So
a
sometimes
long time. Right.
people have tough times at their homes. Like who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I
And
think that plays a
or
big
the
role.
lack thereof, or the
Yes,
lack
yes,
thereof they didn't get. It could be
yes,
the lack thereof. Like I'm
yes,
with you 100%, but sometimes they didn't get the right training,
yes,
and they think the training they got is correct.
yes,
And then when they
yes,
meet, and then when they meet me, they say I'm mean, and I'm like, no, I'm not mean. No, I'm just disciplined.
yes,
I'm
yes,
disciplined, and there's a
yes,
consequence for everything that we do. I mean, you got
yeah,
kids, I got kids. You know that, and
yeah,
something I talk about in my book is talent might get you recruited, but character will keep you in the lineup.
yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna
true.
throw that one again.
Yes,
Talent may get you recruited, but the character will keep you in the lineup.
yeah,
And a lot of times, I mean, I deal with guys all the time. I'm like, listen, man, I don't even want to explain myself. I get to a certain point, I'm not going to explain it,
yeah,
especially if we're in a game. Especially if we're in a game. Well,
yes,
coach, walking behind me, don't walk behind me. I'm in the middle of a game. I got 15 other guys I'm responsible for right now. I don't.
yes,
This is not the time. Well, but they're so used to getting an answer for self gratification. I'm like,
yes.
this is not your time. This is a team. Together, everyone achieve the mission. That's
Yes.
team. We all
And,
together.
and, and, and
So
and the other thing is, I feel like coaches, this is something that we as coaches, especially when you're coaching younger athletes, not high school necessary, but like before that, middle
okay.
school and,
Right.
and younger, like that's one of the message that I try to tell the kids, like, look, when you go to this, they're not gonna care about you. They're not gonna care about your feelings.
That's
You
right.
have to do your part if you want to stay in, and you have to show respect. You have to be on time. You have to hustle, like because if you walking, trust me, there's no one single coach that will like that. I can guarantee you that. So I feel like sometimes it depends on which program you are as a young athlete. Like, depends on what they telling you or not telling you. That's what causes you to have certain failures when you go into
Right.
high school baseball,
Yeah.
because you're learning all these things. You're realizing that, oh, she's like,
Right.
he's not even looking at me. Like I'm not
Right.
even. They're not paying attention. Like I used to be really good, but now I'm not,
Right.
because there's athletes that they're like way better than you. So I feel like as travel ball has kind of, I mean, travel ball is also business, man. It's kind of sad sometimes, man.
It is.
I
It
don't even
is.
want to get into that
Yeah,
topic, man,
yeah,
because
but
it's
I'm gonna say, amen. You're right with that. You're
you know what I mean?
100% correct.
It's just crazy, man.
It is,
What's
man.
happening? But
It's
yeah,
pretty sad. But man, we talked about one other thing. I got a couple more questions before we get off. We talked about a couple other things you talked about was social media, which when we were raised, we didn't have social media. It was like, what, social media? I'm like, so now it's
you didn't
huge
even
now.
have a phone, man.
I
I
didn't
didn't
have
have
a
a phone
phone. No,
until
we
I
didn't
was
have
like
a phone.
16, 17 years old,
No,
man.
we had to go to the phone booth. It was a phone
Yes,
booth.
yes,
And we had phones at home back then.
yes,
But
yes.
they
We
don't.
did.
That's another story. They don't like. Well, you guys must be. Oh, yes, we are older. We're not old. We're older. But anyway,
Yes, yes.
social media is so huge right now. Every player got highlight reels. Everybody got highlight reels. Whatever you want to call it. They got followers. Do you think that is motivating or distracting the next generation of athletes? What's your opinion? And this is your opinion.
Yes, I mean, it all depends how you use it, right? Like if you use it to track the right attention, as far as like being recruiter or posting things for other schools to see it, I think that's okay. Now, I don't think it should be the main focal point of it. You know what I mean? I think it has some, and because social media is so big right now, man. Like that's
Yeah.
everything. I mean, you see people even just making content just to give some feedback on it. But I feel like players now, and again, like I don't coach high school. I'm not dealing with the high school kids and on the baseball level, but I feel like it could be okay. It could be good if you, like I say, if you're using it for the right reasons.
Okay.
But anything out of that, I mean, they're kids. They're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah. You're
But
right.
so if you're talking baseball aspect of social media, I think that's good. Like anything else, I think it could be very distracting. Because I mean, at the end of the day, dude, these are young boys. I mean, come on, you know what it's like to be 17, 16. Like you know what's going through
That's
your
right.
mind,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Like, and it's just it could be very
Tempting.
yes, it could be very
Very
tempting.
tempting.
It can put you in the wrong
The wrong
direction, in
place.
the
That's
wrong
right.
path. You know what I mean? And it can cost you. I know a kid when I used to live in California. One of my best friend, his grandson, he's the same age as my daughter. He's 1 year old. I mean, the kid was a super athlete, man. Like he was good, man. He was a good football player, a good basketball player, great baseball player. He was on all three teams in the school and in high school, and then he got into that kind of stuff, social media, and that completely destroyed his life. He actually ended up going to juvenile hall for some stupid stuff. They kick him off the team on the high school, and he's just now he's working in Olive Garden as a waiter, a 21-year-old dude. And I'm like, man, like that's you just completely blew it. And it was all because of the social media.
Mm.
He got
Mm.
into that stuff, and it's just
Wow.
it kind of put him away from this from what his
From the
true
dream.
purpose was.
Yeah, yeah. And part of
You
his
know what I
dream, what
mean?
he wanted. Yeah.
Yes, and once you do that, man, it's just because here's the thing, you know how it is. When you're 17, you think you know everything, you think you know best, and that's the biggest challenge for parents right now is that your kid think they know what's good for them, and
They don't.
in reality they don't. Even when I was 25, like now I'm almost 40, I'm gonna turn 40 this month, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I was dumb. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right. Right.
Like
Right.
if
I'm with
you
you.
think about it, like it's just like, man, how did I did this? Like, you know
Right.
what I mean? It's just
Right.
it's just stuff like that, but definitely social media can be very tempting for young athletes.
Yeah.
It's just it's a fake life. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
And they
That's
need
it.
to step away from it and
Right.
focus on the true meaning. Like this is real. Like
Right.
none of the
Right.
stuff is real. Like all
Right.
that stuff
Right.
is just
Right. It's like acting. It's like an
yes,
act.
yes.
It's like
Yes.
acting. It's
It's like
Hollywood acting.
I
It's
have
like
300 friends. It's like
they're
no,
not
you
really
don't.
friends. They're
You know
not
what I
friends.
mean?
They're not
Yes,
real friends. Yeah,
yes.
I like that, man. I'm glad you said that because at the end of the day, me and my wife talk about it as well. And my wife, she's Latina. Well, she's from Mexico, so she wasn't born here. So her upbringing is different too. So everything, I can relate to you because of some things that she say and things how she thinks. And I'm like, and she told me the same thing. She said, "Baby, these people, this is fake. Okay, they're fighting over here, cussing out their husband and wife, getting ready to kill their husband, but they're gonna say, "Oh, I love my husband." That's all fake. It's
yes,
fake. Very few
yes,
things are authentic and genuine. Very few, and that's
yes.
why on my show I try to be very raw, which we can tell we're raw. We're raw, and we tell it like it is. But
Hey, we keep it real.
right, right, and
We
it's
just
clean,
say
but it's
that.
clean, and it's clean,
Yes,
it's clean.
yes,
So it's not like we're cussing, and I'm keeping everything clean because I make sure that I want them to understand this is who I am. I'm not perfect, and Juan's not perfect, but
yeah,
we're giving you the truth. This is the
yes.
truth, But which leads me to my last question. I got two more questions, and we're gonna talk about faith. Faith over frustration. I call it the faith over frustration. Because baseball is a humbling game.
It
One
is.
day you're hot, one next day you're not.
Yep.
So my question to you, just in your opinion, how does faith or your belief keep you grounded through the highs and the lows of your career?
Well, I mean, I grew up as a Catholic, even though I knew that, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but
Yeah.
my family grew up as a Catholic, and I kind of feel wrong about that religion just because I remember seeing my dad and my mom go to church and then they go party in the afternoon or go drinking. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of one of those religions that I like, wait, like we're going to go to the misa in
Right.
the morning and then you're going to go drink in the afternoon and
Right.
go to a bar. It never makes sense to me. You know what I
I
mean? Because
understand.
I know that wasn't really how it was supposed to
Supposed
be.
to be.
But
Correct.
but uh,
Correct.
but I grew up on that church. Like as a matter of fact, the church was like two houses down from my house. So we used to go there every Saturday and Sunday for the catecismo. That's what they call it on the Catholic Church. But I think like I'm a big believer, man. That's why I never, to be honest with you, like I know many guys in the minors that you know how it is in the minors, man. Like if you want an opportunity to play, a lot of time guys they wish that you have a bad outing so they can get put in. Like sometimes and I feel like that is wrong in so many levels because I feel like what you wish to somebody else is gonna come back at you. Like I don't know how I know this, but I feel it in my heart to be so true. You know what I mean? That what you can't. I always told myself, you do your best, I'll do my best, and whoever's better, they will
Right.
decide.
Right.
Like
Right.
like it's at the end of the day, it's not my decision who goes up and who goes down. That's not my job. I'm gonna do my best. If my friend does his best,
Right.
they can pick between the two, right? So I always keep it true to myself to just to do the best that I can do. You
Right.
know what I mean? And that's why when I got released, man, I was actually not even upset, man. I was just like, all right, um, I guess I'm done. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I just left. I wasn't really like shocked. I wasn't surprised. I was just like, okay, it is what it is. Like I have never been like the type of person that I'm gonna dwell on something,
Yes.
just because it doesn't make any difference. It's not gonna
Difference. Right.
change the fact. It's not gonna
Right.
change what just happened. It's just you just gotta learn how to move on. And I think
Yeah.
I think faith has something to do with that, in the sense that like you gotta accept it, right?
Correct.
Like accept it,
Right.
process it, and move on from it,
Well,
right?
correct. Correct.
This is not what it's supposed to be. I'm a people like I feel like my life have turned out great. I mean, I have a beautiful wife. I have three children. I have, my house. I have my business.
That's
So
good,
I
man.
think all things considered, man, like coming
Praise
from a
God.
small town in the Dominican Republic to the States and doing as well as I'm doing, man, I am super proud of myself and super happy and
Thank God.
convinced I've been able to provide a decent life.
Yeah.
And that's completely. And I'm so thankful for baseball because I would have not done it without baseball. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because baseball was the one thing that brought me to the United States. So I'm thankful for the Giant organization that they give me the opportunity to come to the States and that's the way I see it. You
Right.
know what I mean? In the other hand, I'm sure all the people will look at a different, well, the Giants suck because this and that. Like, I don't see it that way.
That's
To me,
right.
that was my opportunity
Right.
to leave my country, which I love, and
Right.
I go back, trying to go back every other year, but like, you know what I mean? I'm happy with my results. I'm
Man, that's
happy at
that's
the end. I'm happy with my life. You know what I mean?
well.
I didn't make it. Some of my friends did. I got to go see them. We talk from time to time, and that's good enough for me, man.
Hey man,
That's
that's a testimony because you said some powerful stuff. I'm gonna read something that's really goes with what you just said. I'm feeding off of you now. I'm feeding off of you, and I'm feeding off of you because every time you say something, I'm like, okay, I get it. So there's a scripture in Galatians 6 verse 8. It says, "Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction." And then he said, "Whoever sows from to be pleasing the Spirit, they will reap from the Spirit, have everlasting life." So, other words, if you sow bad things on people, going back to what you said, I'm listening to everything you said. For that teammate, it's going to come back on you, no matter if you like it or not. So,
yes,
the bottom line is this: you reap what you sow, and the bottom line is this: I believe that God puts tools in our life. Baseball is a tool for you. He put a tool
yes.
in your life because God gave you the talent. He gave you the talent to go do what you do. And he also told that guy I need him, one, he needs to go to the States and the Giants need to sign him so I can make a better life for him and for his family. So it all works out. It
It
all
all works
worked
out,
out. It
man.
all worked out, man. I just want to say that because I know that people says, well, it's a coincidence. No, I don't believe I don't believe in coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. Everything.
Yes.
You may not understand it today, but it happens for a reason. And later on, by and by, and God will reveal that. But man, I want to tell you, thank you, man. This is episode 118. I have had nothing but a blast. You have been dropping some nuggets. We can keep going, but I have to stop, man. And I got to respect your time and things of that nature. But I'm gonna ask you two quick questions. Who is your favorite? I'm sorry, I'm gonna rephrase that. Who is the Mount Everest players of all time for you, for Juan Trinidad? Four guys that you had to say Mount Everest. If you had to pick
You
four
mean you
guys
mean you mean for me?
for you,
Okay, for me. I mean, I gotta stick with my Dominican guys, man.
go ahead. Who are
You know
they?
what I mean? I like Big Papi Ortiz.
Big
He's
Poppy.
he's to me he was a legend, man. He came big on big moment, big times. He was that type of hitter. I love Pedro Martinez when he pitched,
Oh,
just because
Pedro.
he was he was so nasty and fire up, and he was just so bold. Like he was just like no fear.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Like
right.
I love when I used to love Ventura, man. That one kid that we talk about that he passed away, because I loved his attitude on the mound. Like he was just gonna go get you, man. Like it's just I like that type of pitcher. So yeah, I like Pedro. I also like Clemens, Roger Clemens.
Oh,
That guy was he was something else, man. Like that dude was a beast as far as pitching go. And I would say I cannot lift out Manny Ramirez, man. He was
oh,
one of the
Manny.
to me, Manny was he was just hilarious, man. He was just fun to watch because he was kind of like an idiot, but dude, he was just funny, man. That dude was funny, man. When he remember when he went to catch the ball and he run through the wall and come down, and I'm like, dude, like, are you serious? Only this guy can do this stuff. Like this guy is crazy. But yeah, those
Oh,
are old timers. I can't speak about old timers because I know Juan Marichal and those
yeah.
guys. I never saw those guys pitch, so I'm just
I appreciate that.
speaking from the
From
guys that I grew up watching.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean, and
yeah.
and guys that I look up to
I
as
like
a
that.
player. But yeah, man.
That's good, Juan. I appreciate you saying that. You didn't say not one giant player, by the way. I just want to say that you didn't throw one giant player in there, but it's okay. Not one.
Well, It's different for us because even though I'm a Giants fan, so here's the thing though. Here's the kicker with that kind of stuff though. Like, I feel like for a Dominican kid, baseball at the level that you guys have experienced it,
Okay.
like going to the stadium. Dude, when I went to the first stadium that I went in the United States was the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I was 19 years old when I went there.
Okay.
And when I walk through those doors, it completely blows my mind
Really?
how legit it, baseball is in the United States. I mean, we have shitty fields in the DR. Like, yeah, if you play professionally, they have better fields, but like we grew up playing on gravel basically. And the professional stadium, which is where they play the winter league
Okay.
in the Dominican, they're like the equivalent of a single A, double A stadium.
Oh,
So to put that into reference
I
with
got
the
you.
big leagues, so you guys grew up going seeing games, like going these major league. For us, that was just a dream, man. That's something that you just see on TV,
I got you.
like you know what I mean? Like
I
like
got you.
you don't experience that.
I got you.
So I got to experience that as an adult. I didn't grow up going to baseball games. You know
I
what I mean?
got you.
And not kids have done that in the DR either. So I mean, I just feel sad that not everybody get to see a major league stadium. It's a beautiful thing, man. Like and a lot of people take that for granted, and I wish there's a lot of people that don't realize how good it is here, man, and to
Yeah.
have all this stuff
Yeah. Right.
and
Right. Right.
experiencing all this stuff because you know like I say, you take it for granted. You have it right there. You can go to the stadium anytime you want, and you're just there. You see it. This is your life. This is normal for you. Like for us, this
It's not
was.
normal. I got
I
you.
mean, you bring 10 kids from the DR and you bring it to the major league stadium, dude, and you can see their faces.
Light up.
It's just gonna be like a completely. It'll change their life. Like it'll be like a completely different experience, man. So yeah, the Giants. I like the Giants after I signed up with the Giants because I wasn't a Giants fan.
I got
You
you.
know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
In the Dominican, we grew up cheering for the Red Sox and the Yankees because the Red Sox have Big Papi, Pedro, Manny Ramirez, like you know
Right.
what I mean. So that was the majority of the people. They used to be a Red Sox fan
I got you.
just because of those guys.
I
You
got
know
you.
what I mean? Because that's your brand basically. They represent your country. So you kind of, you know what I mean?
I get it. I get it.
That's why it's a little bit different though.
I appreciate that, man. I thank you. That's you gave us more than what I expected, man. I appreciate it for all the listeners of this. We got very own Juan Trinidad has been with me for the last hour. We have chopped it up, talked about baseball in and out, how to get to the next level, the mental part of it, the character part of it, everything. We talked about it all. We talked about it good, the bad, and the ugly. But Juan, you got anything you want to say to close out before I close it all out, man? I want to say thank you again, Juan. I appreciate that.
Right
Coming
on,
on.
man. Yeah, no, just to all the listeners, young players, just keep grinding, keep the hard work, and don't give up, man. Because the moment you do that, that's the end. You know what I mean? If you keep going, you're still gonna have a chance. The moment you stop, that's it. There's no more chances after that. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you're willing to live with that, I completely understand. But I will say that there's always somebody's watching, man. You never know who's watching. You never know what kind of attention you can attract just by doing everything hard. Everything you do, just do it hard. Just go 100% everything you do, and you'll see that you'll get noticed.
Man, that
My
is
big
good.
take on it.
Hey, and I gotta say, amen to that, brother. You dropped it really good. Hey, this guy has. Hey, you brought a whole lot. That you brought me more than I expected. I really say thank you. I appreciate it for the listeners been listening for the last hour. We got very own Juan Trinidad had an experience that most guys don't get. Had an opportunity to come to the states and play in minor league baseball and try to pursue his dream. And now he is living the dream also in the United States of America. With that, I want to say, guys, if you enjoy this, I have more stuff for you. My new book breaks down the tools, the traits, the mindset, how to play at the next level. So if you really want to get a copy of my new book, it's coming out. It's like here's a copy, here's a picture of it. It's coming out in 2 weeks. And if you want, DM me D1 Discipline on Instagram as YouGoin'Pro Sports, and I will give you free access to my exclusive D1 Dream baseball team. I have a D1 baseball team where I have interviews, I got downloads, I got tools, I got everything for free. But they got to DM me on YouGoin'Pro Sports. Hey, and the last question I want to say for the listeners: where are you being led? L stands for listen. Listen to everything Juan has talked about today. Listen. Faith comes by listening, by hearing, not by talking. Faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. The E stands for execute. Execute everything Juan has said today. Listen, execute, and the last letter is D. D stands for dominate. Listen, execute, and dominate. Everything we've talked about today, and I guarantee you'll be a lot further than you were the day before. This is Coach Laurie, episode 118, very own Juan Trinidad, episode 118. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate it, man.
Yes.
Hey,